And so the Phantom Thieves, once again due to their own incompetence, are forced to go after a target simply to save themselves. What a bastion of justice. This is the fourth time I've had to do this intro, so let's get on with it already. It's just, well, hey, at least we're going to find out who we're going to be going after this time. I mean, compared to the other storylines that we've gotten so far, just having somebody literally come up and... I know I've said this before, but this is literally Makoto coming up and telling us, hey, go after this person. Like,
Yeah.
For once.
It is funny that this is like the... Have they ever had any agency over who they go over? Or is it just like, oh yeah, everything in the world conspires to have them go against this one person? Like, that's whose heart you're changing. That's your job.
Conspire at first, and then they're forced to go after to save themselves. Whether it's getting kicked out of school for Kamoshida, or getting sued by, well, Shido and Madarame, but, you know, one of these days is going to happen.
Oh, hey, it's Makoto.
All right, just say it. Junya Kaneshiro. We know who it is.
I just want to point out that there's nobody apparently behind this camera, like in plain sight, other than us, the viewers. Like,
yes, and I mean, that means that we can now force the Phantom Thieves to go after... Oh, okay, yeah, Mafia. Again, I think I said this last time, or maybe I just said it to you, but they are actually saying Mafia. It is not a euphemism for Yakuza. They are actually saying Mafia, even in Japanese.
Well,
that's an important distinction to make.
This is like the Sicilian Mafia. They're known for their, their dealings with Tokyo high school students.
Yes. No, I think it's more like just an affectation. Like, hey, everybody likes being a wise guy, right?
This is actually where like the Mario saga originally began. Like the plumbing thing is obviously up front. They're going in. They're getting
yada da 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 yada da da da. Nobody knows his name. Because this game can't just have an easy palace, of course.
What was that song you were just singing?
Oh, that was just me going yada da 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 yada da da da. It's a serious medical condition. Please don't make fun of it.
Kind of sounded like da 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 yada da 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 da.
Oh, we're gonna do it this time.
Yeah, da 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 da. No, the bit is dead.
Really? You told me you had a bit, and you didn't even do the bit.
Da, 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 da. I have the lyrics somewhere, but I'm not gonna get them. I'm gonna look them up.
I guess I did give you kind of short notice compared to most episodes here, so can I really say? Can I really blame anybody but myself? Well, anyway, we gotta go gumshoe it up again, which yeah, we've been so good at it so far.
The notorious Phantom Thieves. Anyway, here's exactly what I want you to do.
I mean, good. This is the sort of thing. You know, I was like basically being thrown into madness after the end of the last episode with how this game was just like straight up turning into what seemed like a parody of itself. If they just threw up their hands and just said, whatever, just go do the plot, I'd be totally okay with that. If it did actually turn in kind of like a parody where it's just like, did they just tell you who to go after and you just do that?
It's weird how even after being tortured, Joker still has no personality. Like,
well, I said before that it's like allegedly he's supposed to be the one telling the story, and that means that we can blame him for all of the faults with it. So,
like, I mean,
that was a fun conversation like 20 episodes ago.
The main thing Joker got from apparently months of being, in this Phantom Thief thing, going after countless villains, making countless friends, and being tortured, interrogated, and pulling off a heist. As far as we know, is just like his eyes are just a little bit like darker, like he's been punched, and then he just kind of still nods.
Do you remember the tutorial? He wasn't just like literally being punched, which he was, but they had also drugged him too.
Oh yeah.
Like there is still a syringe kind of clandestinely in the corner during the, I don't know, like 30 hours that Joker has been telling the story right now.
Why is he boring now? Has like Sakura been putting sodium pentothal into that coffee or something?
I don't know. I mean, I hate the framing device, but we can't get into that again.
Yeah.
And I know that it's just gonna. I am like almost 100% certain that it's just gonna turn out to be like because you never actually exited the. How could they get you when you were in the metaverse? Unless you're still in the metaverse. And we're supposed to be all like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense why the torture was so harsh. But it's like this is also Persona 5, so that's just believable. So it's like, yes, they would actually inject you with sodium pentothal.
Yeah, and I'm just like looking at this, like they always have these like theories for why they're not more popular. Maybe it's partly because they've only done 2 people. Like they've only changed 2 hearts, and one of them was a fucking gym teacher. Like who cares?
He was the world's most evil gym teacher, to be fair.
Right. I mean, it's a scandal. It'd be like a national scandal, but you'd be like, oh yeah, did you hear about those kids who stopped him? Or
now you got to remember, everybody cares a lot about the Phantom Thieves except when they don't.
Yeah.
And also, okay, I did say that there's only been 3 people so far. There's been more due to mementos. We just did an entire episode about that. But still, even then, it's like...
2 high-profile people. One is a beloved artist who's now, he's... They really, I mean...
Like I said before, it's like, how many beloved artists can you name? But, whatever.
Pablo Picasso.
He died in the 80s.
That's right.
But it's just like, I can say Leonardo da Vinci, but it's like, what do you even?
There's
not changing his heart.
Everybody loves Banksy.
Unless third act twist, Da Vinci's still alive, and he was the one that orchestrated the creation. Of course, only a creative genius like that could come up with these fallacies.
Banksy was actually the guy. He's the only artist who's more dishonest than Madarame.
Zing. This is, there was almost a point when I was watching like this scene in particular where I wanted to put up all of Yusuke's dialogue on like the left side of the screen, and then I wanted to put up all of Joker's dialogue on the right side of the screen. You'd see like there's just this huge outpouring of emotion and like uncertainty in what he's doing with his life, and Joker's like, yeah.
And I think what's funny is that this sounds like a high school student who's a student who's like precocious and stuff. This is exactly they nailed the tone on a lot of these characters, and I would say something for Anne, Ryuji, really everyone except for Joker. I would say they do a really good job writing high school characters. Yeah, like what about my scholarship? It's like, fuck you, you're 17.
Oh, told you we're not even at the point that really made me roll my eyes about Yusuke.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's really accurately written. I don't like.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. This is what I would think of like a particularly pretentious 16-year-old kind of feeling.
Yeah, like I'm feeling like vicariously mad at my I'm vicariously blushing at this guy because that does remind me of myself when I was in high school.
What am I fighting for?
Using big words for no reason. Like fuck you, don't use ascertain. Just say get.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite the same thing in Japanese, but it definitely does come across in both languages pretty well.
Well,
he is
all that elevated like language you can use, like diction.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's actually one of the very frustrating things about trying to figure out what the hell Yusuke is saying, because I am so new at this whole thing.
I want my young career. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I have to create pure art. That's the only thing that I can strive for. Can I really consider myself an artist if I'm not being entirely honest in my creation methods? Here's me just like, I don't know, I sit in front of a computer and watch Persona 5 and talk about how much I dislike it.
Like we
That's
get
my
it.
art.
The Braid was pretty good. The
right
Witness was a good game. I really like the puzzles. But God, get over yourself.
Yeah. I am still sore about the Witness and the fact that it's just like ultimately I was really kind of digging into like the themes that I thought they were going for, and then I just find out that it's just like, no, we just need to pad out the game. And I'm just like, blow even more than the pretentiousness of the audio logs. That strikes me in a place that frustrates me to no end. And maybe it was supposed to be all like one of those, oh, I don't know what it means. You got to figure it out. But even then, just hearing that.
Well, yeah. Anytime like you're talking about the personal interpretation about it, obviously that's like a real thing. But it's like if you're the artist and you're doing it, then you're a grifter.
Still a great game, and still love The Witness. But it's just like, I feel so betrayed by the lack of story. Basically,
is it just the cave audio likes? For the most part, I mean, it's like I would be fine with it if they just acknowledge. There
were like the statues around, the perspective things that you could see, and like just generally the way that the world was laid out and everything like that.
Yeah.
It felt like there might have been a larger story being told there in one way or another. And then the cave audio logs did, of course, kind of start to develop something more, but then it's like you just
it felt like an extra area, and I mean it wasn't like terrible or anything, but it's like it felt like it was really conveying how deep it was, like talking about how deep it was explicitly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I mean, it literally said that there was one of the audio you know what I'm talking about, where it's just like
it's like
that quote isn't deep enough. Well, what are you going for here, guys?
It's just
anyway,
nobody is gonna deny that The Witness is an incredibly pretentious game, though, and I think that's just the fact of the matter.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just saying, like, Yusuke from Persona, you could do better than that, I think.
Yep. No, I think, like I said, I think that when they're just trying to like write individual characters, there's some good stuff, but they don't know how to turn that into an actual storyline that works. And also, like I said, there's just points where it's, well, hey, at least we get like the big red days until reported. That means that this can only go on for so long.
Well, I also want to say it does feel like there's a disconnect because they do write the characters so well, and I think a big key to writing a good story is letting characters organically go do what they're doing, and then have that create the story. And Ryuji talking too loud and accidentally revealing everything is funny. Don't get me wrong, like that's great.
So excessive, though.
I mean, that's a great high comedy. The thing with the camera scene is just a great little comic. Like that is brilliant. Don't get me wrong, that is genius how they did that.
I love the idea that the game is either self-aware, but that doesn't make it good. It's one of those things where it's just like, because the joke is that it's bad, that doesn't make it good.
Oh yeah, I know, but just the fact that it hinges on that is great. It's terrible though. You're right. It's also terrible.
This is a great and terrible game that we are forced to cover
for the greater good.
Or the greater good. Still, nobody uses this for good. I'm trying to create it for good, but nobody uses this for good. It's only used for evil, which is the same making me continue it.
The problem is that they've got this. Okay, let's be honest. They have to accumulate characters over the course of like 3 or 4 months. I think is in some number of months, and you have to take each of them is basically paired with a villain. Okay, in order to pick up a party member, you have to destroy the villain. And so you have to change their heart. So that limits how complex the arc can be. I mean, you can get there any way you want, but at the end of the day, we know how it ends. We know.
But we are episode 44 right now. They have more than enough time. And plus the way that everything is happens so artificially that it's like there's simple fixes that you could do to. I mean, I remember even talking in the Madarame saga about how like. There's no reason that Yusuke needed to just approach Anne on the street out of nowhere. Anne is already doing a part-time modeling gig. It's like, why not just have it be that...
He's an artist. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And besides, they were already targeting Madarame, kind of, sort of, at that point in time. So it's like they could have just had Anne have her modeling agency reach out to him, see if he needed a model, which he did. So
I think it's really cute that you have, like, you actually bring these girls to, like, a fast food restaurant, and then they get their own little drinks and stuff. And it's just like, you're still a prisoner, man.
I think the weirder thing is that it's like they are actually here. I was wondering, it's like nobody can see Carolyn and Justine, right? They're just watching main character talk to no, they're actually here. And it's like, really? I know that yeah, if you saw a dude in a banana costume on the street, it's like you're not gonna like go and gawk and start taking pictures or whatever. But it feels like if you saw this, that you'd be like, I don't know what's happening.
Wait, you're saying you? Do you mean like a generic you, or do you mean me? Because I would absolutely start taking pictures, but that's me.
Oh, because I have seen that before, and I just was like, huh, that dude's in a banana costume.
It's probably someone I know. You know, it's like, oh yeah, hey.
That was like 10 years ago though.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was working at Target, doing the old cart attendant job. There's somebody in the parking lot doing that, and I don't even remember why. Well, actually, did I ever find out why? I don't think so.
You just never approached them. You're just like, I don't think I'm gonna figure that.
No, I definitely did not approach them, but it's like I also wasn't like keeping tabs on them or anything. I think I just was like, yeah.
But some mysteries.
Some mysteries don't need to be solved. the Persona 5 story.
Okay.
But anyway, yes, this is all in English because I just kind of on a whim decided to do it in English, and I just kept recording. So we could have probably done the whole Japanese shtick for this, but yeah,
in Japanese, like the subtitle for this, it actually says, instead of rainy season up on the top left, it says burgers, divorce, burgers. This isn't
that's
the first
the
time
second review reference we've made over the course
well,
of the series.
it's just this is a specific episode too.
I mean, it's just it's the best episode of the series, at least from what I've heard. I never saw it myself.
Of any series, but yeah.
I should actually watch that show at some point. It just seems pretty depressing, though. Too.
Yeah, it really is. It reminds me of you, like trying to finish a video. Like,
that's not a way to sell me.
Why did I say that? Holy shit! I'm sorry.
Well, you're not wrong though, so I'll give you that.
Hi, Sally.
Anyway. Yeah, but I mean, it's like the same reason why I didn't watch Breaking Bad when it was new and everything, because I'm just like, I don't want to watch a big depressing series.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It's like, yeah, I know it's good.
Yeah.
No, Chris Claremont, or no, that's Morgan make good television show. I've seen X-Files before.
Yeah, the Breaking Bad guy. Vince Gilligan.
But the Breaking Bad and X-Files guy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like, but you know, it's just kind of like,
Yeah, no, I
don't want to be sad.
Well, a lot of prestige shows are like that. It's like, okay, I kind of want to watch The Sopranos, but it's like, oh yeah, it's also like this really depressing thing.
I don't know, man. I think that there's like a certain lasciviousness to it that like kind of undercuts some of the, you know, with the fact that you are in a life of crime. It's sort of like, you know, even as many trials and tribulations, it's like there is that like otherworldliness to it, I suppose.
Hold on, I'm looking up lascivious.
Something that I couldn't really understand in that, you know, something I couldn't really understand, which makes it feel more abstract. It's sort of like how, for example, I was playing Pathologic recently, which it's like that game has like magic and psychics and everything like that, even though it is still taking place in a very busted, like late 1800s Russian town.
Is it Russian specifically? Like, does it?
Oh, very, very much so. Ice Pick Lodge is. Yeah, Ice Pick Lodge is definitely Russian. I think.
Does it remind? Well, you know, I mean, does it remind you of like a Dostoevsky kind of novel?
Yes.
Like
Absolutely.
Bleak, but also humorously absurd.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, that's. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, that's it. Just,
Man, this is such weird.
I played about 2 hours of that game. I got like decently into some bits of it. I gotta finish it up. Just been too busy with some of the other game stuff, and especially Persona.
I always hate it when I take girls to a McDonald's, and then at the end of the meal, they're like, "Wow, now we're gonna give you a gold star because you ate that huge burger." And then I'm like, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it because I'm hungry and I eat too much. Like that's my cross to bear. I don't want your validation. Anyway, get in the car. We're going back home.
We'll get in the car. We're walking across the street. Oh, so do you think that actually no, wait, main character can drive? That's right. The cat bus. Well, All right, then. And he probably is going to be able to afford a car more sooner than later with all the money he's getting from Magic Otherworld.
Yeah, I mean, you take down a mafia boss, you're gonna be rolling in dough.
Not yet. Soon.
Oh.
The rumors are pretty terrible.
Soon. I can only hope soon. Well, it's not going to be next episode, I'll tell you that right now. Next episode is fun time detective work, so I hope you're ready for that.
I have a dumb, fresh-eyed question. Is it just me, or are a lot of these umbrellas transparent? Is that true in the U.S. and I just never noticed? Or
I don't know. I don't go outside.
Thing, or is that just they just didn't want to like worry about it animating it or whatever, or they had this idea for an umbrella? Like, is that? Is it weird that there are so many transparent umbrellas? Or is
I
that
feel
just
like
me?
it's probably just a reusing of assets, but I honestly have no idea. Maybe that's a very popular thing.
Okay.
Could not tell you either way.
Someone in the comments, one of you, who happens to be familiar with like this specific
Japanese umbrella trends. I'm sure there's somebody out there, probably not one of the people that watches the videos. Should have came on for the emergency door Dead Cells run. It's not a good item. Because it's a door. What sort of door do you use in a high octane action game? But yeah, well, as it turns out, it still was not very good.
Is he talking about the crime boss right now? Or is he
crime
talking
boss? You know, like Space Boss, Dinosaur Jr.
Yeah.
So anyway, Makoto is doing something about this, but that something is also crimes, but to other people. But don't worry, they're also criminals, so it's totally cool. If Persona 5 has taught me one thing, it's that while you think the game might be a criticism of like public shaming and the public perception of people who have committed crimes, as it turns out, it's actually a celebration of that as long as it's to the right people.
Well, yeah, I think that we just need more shaming in our society.
Yeah, but you just gotta make sure that they are evil. So as soon as we discover the metaverse.
I feel like that's a real position that a lot of people hold if you really just like hold them, like if you really just ask people in a way that,
e.g.
like,
those who created this video game. I don't. We're getting to the point where I'm just like, I don't care about these.
So you're just another dull young person. Clearly, the act of minting.
I'm super familiar with the act of minting in Japan. Well, what can you say? That's what it. That's what it is.
I mean,
I'm also definitely reading
wow,
this
he
now.
doesn't even know the difference between the federal government and the U.S. Treasury. What a fucking dumbass.
No. We're talking about the Bank of Japan and the Japanese
it's
government.
the same. It's the same thing.
It is not the same thing. You know it's not the same thing.
I mean, just what they're talking about.
Morgana, we already had a palace like that. Kamoshida's palace ended with us going into a treasure room. That was a thing that happened already. And I don't know if it was real gold in Madarame's place, but don't you remember the wacky world where we teleported around a whole lot and you guys wouldn't shut the fuck up about it?
Mm-hmm. I hate that teacher's just like, oh yeah, so I guess you're just another dull young person. It's like, you know, in my day, high school teachers sometimes would just relish the ability to, first of all, to teach, for fuck's sake, like to teach the students.
You think people have any joy in this world?
I understand, but it's like, you know, the better, like teachers would take that ignorance. Like a lot of times, oh, you teacher, they wouldn't say, oh, so you're just another dull young person. They would like try to like trick them into like, oh so I don't know. How do you think that works then? I don't know. Something like make fun of them in a way that everybody can enjoy, including the person.
No, that's the teacher that throws chalk at me. You know damn well he's not going to do that.
That's a really bad teacher.
They're all very bad teachers. Even Kawakami, who is like maybe the least actively hostile. is still bad in different ways.
Like I could even see like a levity, like a teacher throwing chalk at a student in a way that was funny. Like, you know, just like think fast, motherfucker.
I mean, yeah, basically.
But not for getting a wrong answer.
No, it's not for getting a wrong answer. It's for not paying attention in class, which is how I've been playing the game as of late. Which is how I've been playing the game, like, for a while now, let's be honest.
To be fair, though, they do have a custom where every student has a whiteboard, and if you throw... The teacher's allowed to throw the piece of chalk at any of them, but if they're paying attention, they can actually, like, slam that whiteboard at the chalk and then, like,
they can parry away the chalk, which will then hit the teacher instead and kill them instantly.
Yeah, and it's going twice as fast, so even if the teacher is perfectly attentive, he's not going to be able to catch it in time. It's
and
like
that's how you learn physics in Japan.
Yeah, it's like a baseball, like it's like with those line drives that go right at the pitcher. I just like strike him in the skull, and then he just dies right there on the baseball diamond. You know.
And that's how we started wearing helmets in baseball. Also, hey Mishima, I see that you're here to try to hold up this investigation for as long as possible, because you didn't give us anything there, but you did make it so I couldn't fast travel anywhere else. Also, hey, we gotta go find this one guy. Let's just go talk to the first person we see here that isn't Mishima. I'm not even bothering. I'm just asking about Nishiyama. Anyway, he's in the library. There we go. Mission complete. Modern day Batman.
Well, it's nice that, you know, school's just ending right now, so you could probably go right up and go talk to him. What the hell, you know? Pretty convenient.
And so I did. Here I am. Yeah, that's right. So you're going to have to talk to me or I'll kill you. Whatever. That's basically what you assume was going to happen, right? I've got a knife here. I'll throw this cat in your face. You know what that will do to a person?
No, I don't care about
Well, you'll know soon enough.
But don't go after my precious books.
That's right. That cat will eat all of those books. Oh, yeah, this is... we weren't even paying attention here, but it's just like, yeah, this guy just gotta... Okay, just read this. Yeah.
I want an easy part-time job.
Hey, just get approached by a random dude on the street.
Hey, kid, you want an easy part-time job?
All you gotta do is take this envelopes and you gotta stick it in that locker over there. Make sure you ain't noticed by nobody.
And you gotta take the drugs that I give you.
What? Nobody said anything about drugs.
I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, if I give you drugs, I want you to take them, but it probably won't ever come up.
You are the worst mafia member.
Committing to a crime before there's even a need to. Yeah, I would be really bad at the mafia.
Well, yeah. Anyway, here we get the same information again.
If I were in the mafia, I'd be like, this is technically illegal. I know.
You would just be spending the entire time being like, hey guys, 24 is the highest number. They'd be like, we don't understand.
There are 24 books in this library.
It's the highest number. This is what a stupid sketch, too. Anyway.
Yeah. It's not their best sketch. It's funny.
Anyway, what do you think? What? How could this be? How?
This is actually kind of adorable. Sounds like what a kitten would have.
These are the most naive high schoolers I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyway, here comes Mishima. Day late and $1 short. Yeah, Mishima. What sort of job is it? Wow, really? What is this?
What?
We just literally mere seconds. That was okay. For people keeping track at home, that was talking to Nishiyama and then getting the same exact information from Yusuke, and then figuring out that it's drugs with Morgana, and then getting the exact same information from Mishima.
Yeah, thank you, Detective.
Persona does it again.
This is why Mishima can never be a member of the party. He's just too fucking slow on the uptake.
And he stopped me in the middle of the hall to give me no information, and then he gave me information I already knew moments later.
It's like, look, Mishima, this is just like the news for us in this universe.
Like, I don't know if you know, but if you are about to tell me something, I probably have already been told it several times at this point.
Look, Mishima, we all respect you as a blogger. You're a great blogger, but you don't have what it takes to be a spirit detective.
Excuse me, he's a webmaster?
Oh, of course, yes. He's an administrator.
No, you could call it that. I like master.
Mhm.
Mr. Web.
And she said he's such a sub.
He is, though. What is up? That's a good question, but I don't have an answer for that. What is up with the main character?
Don't worry, we're not telling you. You're a pizza.
Look, man, I mean, it's just like, all you gotta do is just like...
Why didn't you choose your pizza small?
That's too stupid.
I realize, yeah.
And besides, it's just like, we gotta finish up the episode already.
Yeah.
4 minutes left here.
It's just like an 8
Yeah,
minute,
we know, Ida. Shut the fuck up.
So if I was a pizza smuggler, now that would be a really realistic mafia. Like, that would be like...
I mean, it would certainly be way more stereotypical.
Yeah.
Didn't
So
know
then
it was
I-
in the envelope. Some guy just told me to deliver these unmarked envelopes.
He said
And
it
this
was
is maybe my favorite part of the episode.
He said it was pizza. He said
Yep,
it was
right there. That's just direct deposit for the mob. These are the stupidest high schoolers I've ever seen.
Well, I didn't even have to fill out like an I-9 form or something. He just started depositing money in my account. It was really weird to me as a high schooler because you always have to fill out your
Hey,
I-9.
that's what part-time jobs are like, right? Some guy just comes up to you on the street, and they're like, "Hey, deliver this envelope," and I'm like, "Oh, do you need a blank check so you get my account information?"
Deliver this envelope. Don't look inside.
And also, please give me your W-2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, like the whole thing is that they're not the way they're blackmailing students is that they're not like just trying to get them to continuously do the job. It's now they're demanding money after they paid him money.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
You gotta spend money to make money. It's true.
But the thing is, it's like he did in fact. But the thing is, as they were saying, like Nishiyama was saying, that it's like he was in fact spending a lot of money. So, good job, Ryuji.
I don't want to keep shitting on things in this game. Okay,
I do.
I'm not kidding. This is the best part of the game. But I wish that they would give you real chat options, specifically because, okay, so they gave you that pizza trafficking thing. So I would love it if they did, where they said it's drugs, it's trafficking. They should have given you a third option. It's pizza trafficking. You could have kept going.
Pizza just to keep going. That's a lot more of a Persona 4 thing. The best you get in Persona 5 is main character being very horny. Like being like, I wish that was me when he was told about Mishima's dick flattening adventures.
Well, I wish that was me too. So I don't know.
Oh, you and always getting your dick flattened.
It's true. It's
Well,
basically
anyway,
a flatland
let's stop
thing
for
at this
today,
point.
I suppose. That's the sort of game we're doing. Give him your bank account.
Whoever asks us to take on that job should know who that boss is too. Yeah, and they
Yeah,
definitely know that.
not only, just like oh man, this game.
They need to know the truth that it's not pizza that's being trafficked.
Not too many customers when it rains. That's something that probably won't be coming up, I suppose. This is rainy season, makes it easy to get a lot of extra knowledge stuff. Well, anyway, we're just gonna go hang out, asking about drug smugglers in
No, he's a
midday
pizza. I don't know what you're talking about.
because it's like that whole bank account thing leads a lot of credence the self-parody that I was
Also, the thing is, you probably
also the way
mentioned-
that these are the least drug-informed high schoolers I've ever. Maybe it's different in Japan, but I can't imagine it's this different.
Well, the other thing is, okay, so he's getting his direct deposit, so presumably that's something that can be easily traced back. Like,
You would no, it's not.
oh, okay, fair enough.